dreams. The nightmare you are about to experience contains elements of fire, pyro, and intense flashing light. It's dark and adult in nature. If you find anything of this nature offensive, I suggest leaving this dark dream immediately. Ready or not, here I come. The nightmare.
You won't stand a chance.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another Sunday night live stream. Yeah, had to do it. Do it every stream. No matter what the time of the stream is. Hello everyone, welcome in Fiends. Welcome to another Sunday night live stream where we're going to talk about so much fun stuff that you're going to get so fun and happy that, you know, you're just going to pass away.
Pass away?
I don't know.
Not before Horror Nights.
What's up everyone? Got a lot going on in the chat right now. It looks like
Ew.
Mr. or Mrs. or Gorilla is really just throwing riddles out in there. How's everyone doing? How's everyone doing on this Sunday evening? About to start another week. Maybe a week of announcements. Maybe not.
Hopefully.
Honestly, I don't know the formula for HHN anymore. And I just realized I haven't talked about a lot on live in a while.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've been live.
Apologize for not being live in a little bit, guys. We have had family in town, so we've been doing all that jazz, visiting with the family and fun stuff like that. So that is why there's been no stream recently. Been trying to get the videos out when they could, but yeah. But we're back. As you notice, we're still using the old camera for the streams.
We are.
I have not figured out how to make the new camera good for live streams yet. So we have a new camera, but we're using All Reliable today for the stream. But last week was the announcement?
Week
Week?
before.
Huh?
Wasn't it the week before?
Was it the week before? No. It was last week, right? When did the 6 originals drop? Was that last week? I think that was last
I
week.
think it's been 2 weeks.
Has it been 2 weeks? Oh, it has been 2 weeks. Because, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I was telling you, I'm correct.
Oh, wow. Anyway, so
I'll double check to be sure.
it's been a little late
But
since
it's been a minute.
Since that happened. Yeah, my weeks are getting blurred together now, apparently. That
Yes.
was the week before. So, first things first, we got 6 announcements. We haven't talked about that on stream yet. We have a video about it, so if you haven't watched it, go check that out. But, we did have the 6 originals dropped, 2 weeks ago, I guess now.
The 24th was the last one. So.
And we made videos, on all of it. We have 2 individual ones on the first 2, and then we were realizing, like, hey, this is a lot of announcements coming. Let's just make a big one at the end of the week, and that's what we did. But yeah, so all the originals for HHN 2024, 33, whatever you want to call it, is out. How are we feeling about those original houses? Because I've seen differing opinions on them. So what are you guys feeling as far as the originals go this year? There's a lot going on in chat.
There is.
So I'm going to let you read chat,
Oh.
like usual.
Okay, do you want me to read our whole entire poetic lineup for HHN?
Our poetic lineup?
Yeah, the whole entire poem that was written before we even got here. They wrote us a
Oh, I
book.
guess we could, yeah.
Okay, well, you want me to read it all?
Sure.
It's a dark philosophy and haunts her constantly. She's a false alarm to me. She's a false alarm. False alarm.
Okay, maybe don't read the entire thing. Because we did read it before.
There's
Stream.
quite a bit in there, but you know it's fun.
Start when the stream started, I guess.
Yes.
After the starting.
That's where we'll
Because we did read all your stuff, Gorilla. We did.
We did, as we were waiting to start. Let's see. Well, okay, so Antonis said, I'm disappointed that both version 3 speculations map for Hollywood and Orlando have barely changed from an IP standpoint.
Yes, so that is true. They did not change much. That's why we didn't make a video on it.
Yeah.
That's why there's no new video of a breakdown of version 3. Because a lot's the same, and a lot is already confirmed now because of the whole 6 originals dropping. So honestly, the speculation just for IP now, and Scare Zones, and then Icon or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's no video on. That's why I was like, we'll just talk about it briefly in the stream today.
Yeah.
Not much to talk about.
I'm excited to see where Scare Zone speculation goes next, so.
That is true.
Kim Dog said, good evening, moviegoers. Good evening.
Good evening.
Brian said hi. Zombie Chris said hello.
What's up, Chris?
Hello,
Welcome
Chris.
in.
Hello, Brian.
What's up, Chris? Oh, and Brian, yes. But what's up, Chris? How you doing, my guy? How you doing? Guys, I say this in every stream that my creator friends are in. Zombie Chris, good content creator. Go check him out.
Yes.
He's been on his A game about putting out all these videos recently, especially with all the announcement.
Yes.
Man was covering it. Same with Dreamport, which I see Dreamport is in chat as well.
I was about to say,
but-
speaking of content creators that we're friends with, Dreamport said hello as well.
What's up, Dreamport? And also, guys, if you have not watched it yet, we dropped a creator video 2 weeks ago? A week ago?
A little bit before all the announcements started.
May 21st, so it's been like 10 days. 11 days. Whatever it is. But Dreamport and Zombie Chris are in that video. Go and check that out. Go and check
It's
that
very
out.
fun. Brian said, more announcements. Announce the rest of the event. And then Chris said, it's definitely keeping us on our toes.
True.
Kyle said, where is the vampire with the lisp? That was epic.
Oh, wow. That was that halfway to Halloween, that stream?
Yeah.
He will return
Maybe.
later.
Hopefully.
There will be
with
some
better
stuff. There's some
pronunciation.
stuff I'm working on as far as like opening night Eve, which we will talk about that now. As far as opening night Eve goes, as far as that live stream goes, and some more fun stuff that will be coming in as far as the lives, because I know with the lives last year we did little games and events and things like that. So that will return with this year as well. Now that we're creeping closer along, we're less than 100 days, less than 3 months from the event. So pay attention to either the community tab of this channel, or if you follow me on Instagram or something, or just the Horror Fiends page on Instagram. I will be posting stuff not too long from now as far as like opening night goes and opening night Eve and all that. So anyway.
Exactly. Alright, and then on to, this is chat kind of after you asked your question about how we're feeling about originals. Nightmare Seeker said, I'm excited for everything. I am worried about triplets though.
That's a general consensus.
I feel like I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum of the general consensus.
No, I understand the consensus is because of, I mean, I don't know if it extends beyond this for you personally, but as far as the picture, promotional picture for the Triplets of Terror house, a lot of people were like, what is that? And I get that. I mean, as far as like in the content creator realm, when we create thumbnails and stuff, we use Photoshop or whatever it might be. So I feel like whoever photoshopped that picture didn't really revise it a little bit as far as like, you know, the placement of the masks on these characters
I'm
or
just
whatever.
frankly a fan of the paper plate face.
Yeah, that might be cool, and I think that's the vibe they're going. They're going towards like maybe like a Texas Chainsaw or House of a Thousand Corpses route, where it's kind of like not like this fleshed out kind of slasher where it's like Ghostface or something. It's like makeshift kind of stuff. So it's like they saw a paper plate and they're like, yeah, put it on my face or something, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that's the vibes they're going, especially with what I've heard about the house behind the scenes as well. I think they're definitely going the route of like House of a Thousand Corpses, Texas Chainsaw kind of vibes.
Yeah, I agree. That's kind of the first things I thought of seeing that original like picture that they put out.
Now I know, since we haven't talked about it on the stream, I know a lot of people were hoping Boris was coming as that last announcement of the week, and that didn't happen.
I do.
And this is what we were given was the triplets announcement.
You just said Triplets of Terror earlier, and it makes me wonder, and I don't know if anyone else has said this, and I'm just now catching on, but is there a possibility someone somewhere said Triplets of Terror and someone heard Tribute to Terror? And that's why we were stuck on it?
Maybe. I know, like, as far as like the speculation goes with Horror Night Nightmares and stuff like that, I mean, it's speculation. So like, especially with the originals, you're basing it off of what people tell you. You know, it's whether you got an insider in the business or you are just going off of what an insider is saying, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's easy for that stuff to get mixed up, you know. So.
Right. And then, moving on, Chris said, haha, those IPs have been locked since the start, and then followed by Joey saying, except we lost Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yes. Which, you know, again, as far as speculation goes, from what I've heard, you know, behind the scenes, quote unquote, Nightmare on Elm Street was never a thing, is what I've heard. I've heard there was a glimpse of, which I don't know if it's true, but what I heard, there was a glimpse of something that looked like Freddy Krueger's glove in the backstage area somewhere. And that's, I think, what started the Nightmare on Elm Street thing. But again, I don't know if that's true or whatever. But I've heard it also was never a thing, and we just ran with it. Who knows,
Maybe.
though? Who
Yeah.
knows?
There's so many things that play into the whole
Or they
speculation
had it
season.
and it fell apart. Who knows?
Right.
Happened before, so.
Let's see. Jessica said hello. Hello, Jessica.
Hello, Jessica.
Kim Dog said, I wish I could do a dive on the IPs, but I better wait for the announcements.
I mean, let's be honest, okay? We know at least 2 of them, right? We know Ghostbusters is coming, right? We know that.
That's gonna be
And
the
then
gag of the
Hollywood
year.
is clearly, which if you're a Hollywood person, but Hollywood is clearly building Insidious. Clearly.
Oh yeah, that one picture that came out with like the windows.
Yeah,
and everything.
it's clearly built. So we know 2. We know 2 IPs. I mean, you know, the other
Presumably.
ones, you know, are up in the air, but again, I've heard stuff behind the scenes as well that really tells you what those are as well. So I feel like we already kind of know our IPs this year, before the announcements are even here.
That's I just stuttered so hard. Anyways, just like looked off to my imaginary audience over here. Goodness gracious. Okay, Jessica said, OMG, I love your hair. Thank you, Jessica. Kim Dog said, I love the video about what HHN means to y'all.
Thank you. Thank you.
It was fun to do.
It was a lot of work. Actually, it was less, I would say it's less
It
work.
was less than deep dive.
It was less work than the deep dive, yeah. But, you know, the only thing that frustrated me, and I'll talk about this, is because I'm using this new camera. We got a new camera. We got, if you're a camera person, we got a DJI Pocket 3 that we use for the videos now, besides the live stream today. But, and so my computer, and I got a decent computer, I feel like, but it's so used to the old camera I had. So my editing software, when I was doing the editing on this what HHN means to us thing, completely crashed my software over and over, and I got so frustrated. There was a point where it was crashing so much to where I just went out of the studio and went into the living room and just laid on the couch. And I was like, I need a break.
Like, are you okay?
I was like, I need a break. But yeah, that's why that one feels like so much work.
Yeah.
But honestly, the deep dive, 26 hours of editing, nothing compares to that, I feel like, as far as the work I had to put in that.
Yeah.
But also, no, thank you for saying that you like that video. I mean, thank you to the content creators. I know a couple of you are in here today that were on that. So yeah, it's cool. It was a cool thing we were able to do again, you know, because deep dive was last year. This is this year. You know, it's cool to do something like that again.
Yeah. Pretty Ricky said they are my 2 favorite HHN creators thus far.
What about me? I'm sorry. I'm joking. I'm clearly joking.
Wow.
Yeah, where do I rank
We're
on that
kicking
list?
you out of the stream.
We ranking? Where am I? I'm joking. I'm joking.
Instead of a hype list for houses, you want a hype list, but it's just you on it.
Yeah.
Crow said, definitely the ones in Hollywood. I was chatting with some people about in an HHN Discord server and actually found out that Texas Chainsaw Massacre is supposed to be coming to Hollywood 2024.
Maybe. And I've gotten this comment so many times on so many videos, and we cover Orlando.
We do.
There's, especially on that deep dive, I get so many comments. It's like, oh, you're only talking about Orlando. It's because we're an Orlando-based channel, so we don't know anything about Hollywood. I don't know any insiders in Hollywood. I don't keep up with Hollywood because I don't go to Hollywood.
Yeah.
I want to go to Hollywood.
Yes.
but I've never gone myself. So we're in Florida. We cover Orlando. So we do get the comments a lot asking about Hollywood. We know nothing about Hollywood.
We know the bare minimum.
So if Texas Chainsaw pops up, you probably know more about it than I do, you know? So I'd be excited about it, except it's not my area, you know? But, yeah. I have to say that because I've gotten so many comments about it. I'm like, I don't cover Hollywood. I don't know.
Yeah, and say I wish we did
Yeah.
do more Hollywood stuff and go more and stuff, but that's quite a journey to make.
It is. I want to do it, but it is.
Eventually, hopefully. Jessica said, don't forget to boop the like button. Show them some support and love.
Thank you, Jessica. Appreciate that. Yeah, guys, if you haven't liked the stream and you're in the stream, what are you doing,
Give it
man?
a little like.
Don't dislike it, please.
Could you imagine everybody dislikes it?
Oh, yeah, that would be awful.
We'd quit. Just kidding. Anyways.
Yeah, I'd put up my MatPat video. Retiring.
Kim Dog said, which one is the Boris Schuster house in disguise?
None of them.
I was gonna say none.
Unless we get some sort of scare zone or something related to him, or the tribute store again.
I want to say, that's kind of funny. That follows up to what Kristen said after that was maybe he's in his own little devil emoji.
Yeah, maybe he's in a zone, you know.
Hopefully it would be nice.
We don't know too much about the zones right now, so.
I have to say thank you to Soft Bunny Kisses because she said I look stunning.
Oh.
So thank you.
Thanks, I do look stunning. Thanks.
You and your mustache.
Yeah, my little mustache.
Pretty Ricky said, so it's looking like no icon this year?
Honestly, I have no idea.
I don't know.
I've heard several things as far as like icon. I've heard Fear's Master or something. I've heard Major Sweets. I've heard a million things. Who knows?
My thing is like, I'm gonna try not to be too disappointed if we don't get an like icon announcement or super specific, like we're getting an icon, because what happened with Oddfellow just kind of showed up. So,
granted, I heard that was because Netflix wouldn't let them, and from what I've heard of the IPs this year, Netflix isn't one of them.
Right.
So maybe, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, we got that little video a few weeks ago now of that thing underneath Universal or whatever it was. I don't know if that's going to lead to an icon thing or if it's going to specifically just be nothing.
My thing is obviously Hollywood got the iteration of that same ad, but with their park. But we're getting the little teeny tiny videos leading up to that big video that they released. So I'm curious what the difference is between us and Hollywood, because I guess the bigger video can be the overruling theme of whatever they're going to do this year. But why are we getting little tiny videos? It's like hyping it up.
Yeah, I don't know. And honestly, that's after that teaser died, there's been no mention of it again.
Yeah.
They dropped these 6 houses, you know, and obviously the exclusive night, which we'll talk about in a bit. But nothing as far as the lore-wise, I guess.
Is happening?
Yeah, is happening. Yeah.
Joey said it's also an anniversary year for Original Nightmare, so that led a lot of space for speculation too.
Right.
Antonia said we've had Insidious in Hollywood a few times already, not sure why it's coming back.
We've had Insidious in Orlando as well. I think it was it Insidious? Correct me if I'm wrong, but Horrors of Blumhouse one year didn't have Insidious in it. I think I remember that.
Yeah. And then Kroos basically said the same thing that we did about how they did a good job at hiding Oddfellow before 2023 started, so we can't be for sure.
That is true. I mean, well, I don't know. I feel like the speculation for last year with Oddfellow, if you look back even on this channel, I talked about Oddfellow really early that year because that's when the speculation already started that Oddfellow was the icon.
Yeah.
This year, the icon speculation isn't too prevalent, I guess.
Yeah.
There's not much as far as like a lot of people speculating it's one thing, or
That's
if there's
true.
one at all. You
I
know.
was gonna say, because it was pretty immediate that everybody was like, oh my god, Oddfellow last year.
But I'm basing my speculation of icon just based off of we've had one every year since HHN 30, so I think they're gonna keep going down the route of new icons. So.
Yeah, I would hope, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
I lost my place, so I'm gonna sing a song about it. Zombie Chris said, on the flip side, I've just started going to HH in Hollywood, so I've never seen Insidious over there, so I'm excited.
Fair. I want to go to Hollywood too.
So
Right.
bad. Joey said the icon is the ghost of Ben Franklin, since you're going to be dropping a bunch of them to go to this event.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about that in a bit too.
Yeah.
You see the title of the stream. We'll talk about that.
So Chico Soul said supposedly this Tuesday will be the first IP announcement.
It'd be nice.
Yeah.
It would make sense.
Is it
you know.
timing wise? I feel like it would make sense.
Timing wise, with this exclusive event that we'll talk about in a little bit, tickets going on sale this Thursday coming up. It makes sense for them to announce an IP.
Honestly, I would
so you know
think at
what's
least like one good big IP should be announced before that, because if they really want those tickets to sell, I don't know how many people are going to buy it solely based off of the originals besides the hardcore HHN fans.
And I have a feeling I know exactly what the IP announcement is going to be. Do you?
Oh, no idea.
Right?
Yeah.
It's Ghostbusters, probably.
I would assume.
Either that or Monsters. I don't think Insidious is getting announced yet. Not yet.
Pretty Ricky said, do you guys think the reason for the early announcement on the originals is because of IP issues?
I've heard that talk, actually. No, I don't think so. The only IP I've heard that was possibly lost was The Weeknd. And I know probably other creators have been talking about this too. But I've heard that The Weeknd for Orlando was lost. I've heard there was creative difference or something, and so Hollywood might now just be getting The Weeknd instead of Orlando. What I've heard, don't know if it's true, but I think that's the only IP issue they've had that I know of.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if Nightmare on Elm Street was ever a thing, but as far as what I've heard behind the scenes, IPs are fine. Just based off of construction kind of stuff. IPs are fine.
And Tona said, will you guys in Orlando ever get a Terror Tram?
No.
We don't got room for that.
Yeah, there's no room. There's no studio backlot
Put
tour
it in the
you could
parking
bring
garage
them
if they're gonna put it
through.
somewhere.
The backlot of Universal Orlando is very different to like Hollywood.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's no room for it.
Yeah. I would appreciate rides to and from the parking garage. That would be great.
Yeah, can we just
give us a Terror Tram from the parking garage.
Can we just talk about the parking garage, by the way? This is not HHN, but the parking garage completely changing all of its audio to whatever's going on in there. What is that? Are we in an airport in the parking garage at Universal now?
Disappointment.
Am I hearing my flight gate and all that? Flights taking off, and what happened to all that? I seen that the other day. I was like, what is going on, man? But anyway.
They're on a tangent over there.
Yeah, it was. That just made me think of that.
Joey Mayo said maybe they just dropped them all.
Yeah, no IPs this year. 10 originals. I'm not against that, but 10 originals.
I think Joey was saying drop all of them at once.
Oh,
Like announcement wise.
I think it meant like dropping the IPs.
I mean, yeah, totally 10 originals. That'd be great.
They could drop them all. They could just go through next week and do it just like they did the originals.
I would be curious, like, obviously it would never happen, but how busy Hornets would be if they just did originals.
I think it would still be busy.
No.
It's
Yeah.
still Universal. Still Halloween Horror Nights,
That's true.
But again, with the whole dropping them all in 1 week, I don't think that will happen. It'd be cool. But I think with IPs, they need to give them a little room between each other, since it is not their properties kind of thing. With Universal Monsters, they can do what they want. But as far as like, if we're getting Ghostbusters, if we're getting Insidious, don't think they're going to drop them back to back.
Yeah.
I think they'll have to give them their own respective days.
Yeah. Just
know.
because they are IPs.
But,
I'm sure that's what
I
they
don't
would want. Kim Dog said, my heart is racing for this year's Monsters. I would love to know about that too.
Yeah.
For sure.
I would love the confirmation of what we all speculate on Monsters, yes.
Because, frankly, if it's what's being speculated right now, I don't know if, my girls that we've been talking about this are in the chat right now, but would be the Gaslight Gatekeep Girl Boss House. And I need that to happen.
Yeah.
Let's see. Brian said, first up will be announced tomorrow. And also there was a tweet that mentioned tell them your worst nightmares, and you can't tell me that won't be Nightmare on Elm Street.
So you think Nightmare on Elm Street's coming tomorrow? I mean, speculate all you want, for sure.
Chris said, so originally the weekend was going to get a scare zone in Orlando and a house in Hollywood, but it just got reduced to Hollywood only? Question mark?
That's what I've heard. Again, this is speculation. Can't confirm any of it, obviously. Universal confirms that. But I have heard, yes, only Hollywood for a weekend this year. Which makes me a little sad, but, you know, who knows?
Yeah. And then Brian said the others will be Ghostbusters, the Monster Squad, and Creature.
Really? Alright.
And then Chico Soul said that would be so dope if they did a food pass like the Mardi Gras pass.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, it would be nice.
I like food.
Let's see her. Zombie Chris said thumbs down on the new audio.
Yeah, what is going on, man?
And Dreamport said don't talk to me about the garages.
Right? Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one that feels like that.
Does that mean, obviously I didn't really see much about what's going on there.
So what happened is they completely took
is
away,
there no
like,
more,
no.
roaring in the party?
No more ET audio, no more Jaws audio, no more any of that. It's literally a guy going, welcome to Universal Orlando Resort. Please watch your step. Go this way to go to Universal City Walk. This is what Universal City Walk has. That's all it is now. Oh, that's gone.
How am I supposed to remember where I parked?
It says, it'll be like, you parked in Jaws. Remember where you parked.
I'm not going to remember that because you know how I remember where I park is because whatever I heard walking in is stuck in my head for the rest of the day.
I mean, you could just do it. Doesn't on the app, can't you just...
I don't care, that's too much work. I want to go into the park with the Spider-Man song stuck in my head.
I have a feeling that Universal's gonna see that everyone hates the new parking garage audio and change it back. I have a feeling that's gonna happen. So I'm not gonna get too mad about it unless it stays. But I think they're just trying something.
And then Pretty Ricky said, I saw it in Kevin's video today about the parking garage. He said it sounded post-apocalyptic. Oh my god, does it sound like the things outside of Walmart? The new things that they put up like during 2020 in the Walmart parking lots that are like, doo-doo-doo, you're at Walmart.
Yeah.
And then it made me feel like the world was ending.
Yeah, it does sound like that. Yeah.
Love that.
Not her relating it to Walmart.
Well, the first time I saw those, I was like, this is very post-apocalyptic. And then Nightmare Seeker said, I mean, originals are mostly better than IPs. And then I wouldn't mind the idea of an all-original year. I would not either. I'd be vibing with the originals.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have nothing to say about that, just yeah.
Crow said it has Toxic Tunnel vibes.
Toxic Tunnel?
And then Joey said, Nightmare isn't coming, it's just breathing heavy. Huh?
It's just breathing heavy?
Yeah. It's just breathing heavy. I feel like I missed something or forgot what we were talking about because I don't...
Maybe.
I'm a little
Anyway.
lost. We get behind and then I get lost. Nightmare Seeker said I honestly like the Weekend House. I really liked it too.
Yeah, I
thought it was
don't know
fun.
many people that didn't like the Weekend House, to be
I
honest.
was pleasantly surprised with it.
Yeah, that was a good house. That was a good house.
Ada Lydia is here and says hi.
What's up, Ada Lydia? How you doing? So, did you catch up on chat?
Yep.
Now? Okay, cool. I saw Ada Lydia, just was like recent, so.
Yeah.
Okay. We've talked.
We've talked. We've read the chat. It was really funny.
So now I want to talk about the spec map briefly, and then I want to talk about specifically this exclusive thing that's happening that HHN announced. But I'm gonna talk about spec map first, since there's not much that has changed as far as spec map goes. We'll talk about the stuff that has changed, and that's it.
Sounds good to me.
So let me move y'all over to this screen. Okay. This is the new spec map that Horror Night Nightmares put out a couple days ago. Lot is still the same. Things have moved around as far as house locations, I think, again. But a lot is the same, and a lot has already been confirmed. So, first things first, Monsteros, already confirmed. Already coming to the event. Universal announced it. Next thing, the Lantern has now moved over to, what is it, Soundstage 23, 22?
I can't read that part.
I think so. It's the one over there.
They're reading them in the order of this way.
Yeah, I forget the soundstage name of that one. But the Lantern is over there now with the IP reel. A lot of us are speculating that that is Insidious, and Insidious is being built in Hollywood. that's probably Insidious.
That would be my assumption.
So yeah, we'll assume it's that. Again, that's the same as it was on last spec map, so not too much to talk about as far as that goes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we're gonna move up to soundstage 20 something. I can't read it. 23B, I think. Which is where what was last year? What was over there last year? Stranger Things? Stranger Things. Yes. Stranger Things was there last year. And that is where the Cadillac symbol has now moved. And now the Cadillac symbol is frozen.
What could it mean?
I feel like we know all of these already. So, obviously everyone thought this was Ghostbusters. Still the same symbol, just with frozen stuff on it. So it's probably Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Right?
I would assume.
Unless it's, Elsa took over Ghostbusters,
Yeah.
It's actually a Frozen
That's
house.
Disney World
Disney
now.
collaboration with Universal. Frozen. Happily Ever After. Frozen Ever After. There you go. Yeah.
Sorry. It's the Happily Ever After song.
Oh.
And Disney.
Ew. So, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, probably inside of that. I don't know, there's nothing else you can speculate on that.
Yeah.
Then we're going to move up to Soundstage 23A or 24A. I don't know. The one where Dueling Dragons was last year. Right? Yes. I remember.
Was it?
Yeah, because Yeti was on the other side.
Okay.
So, yeah. Mute symbol. This is the same as last spec map. IP. Obviously. Quiet Place.
I was like, are you acting like we don't know? Like, let's
I'm trying to play with it a little bit, but
You're
again,
trying to
a
be
lot of us already
suspenseful?
know what's coming to the event. So we don't know.
We don't
again.
know, but it is what the general consensus is.
General consensus is Quiet Place. I don't know what era of Quiet Place it is, whether it's the new film or the original or the second one, whatever it is. I have a good inkling on what it is, just from what I've heard. Don't know if what I've heard is true, but I have a good inkling of what era or film it is inside of Quiet Place's universe, but this is probably Quiet Place. If it's not Quiet Place, then it's something else to do with Mute's symbol. Who knows? Speculate all you want. Then next to it is going to be Triplets of Terror. So that's going to be where Yeti was last year. So I know a lot of people are like, why is that there? People are like, why is that in a soundstage?
I think the fact that it's going to be is a good sign that they feel pretty confident.
From what I've heard, I've heard with Triplets of Terror, I've heard the set design is really cool. So I understand why it would be in a soundstage.
Right.
That's what I've heard. So that's already confirmed. That's not speculation anymore. Moving along to Fast and Furious, that is where Major Sweets Candy Factory might be. Again, these are all speculation on the locations, so all this could change, But right now, it's speculated to be inside of Fast and Furious. So this is our first original we're getting inside of Fast and Furious, I think.
Yeah.
That I can recall, at least. It's usually IP, usually Blumhouse is over there. So, yeah, I don't know how that's going to look. I'm curious how the facade work is going to be done in there. Because I know with, Horrors of Blumhouse, there's always just, a projection. Even with Chucky, there's just a projection on the wall. So I wonder if there's just going to be, another projection.
It's already very factory-like in Fast and Furious.
That is true.
Probably just walking into the big metal door.
I'm curious if they're going to, make, Q videos for it. I know, with Chucky last year, they had the whole Chucky Q video and stuff. Mm-hmm. But since this is an original, I'm curious if they're going to, go back to making content for original House Q lines, like they did with Slaughter Cinema and stuff back in 2018 and all that fun stuff. So that'd be cool, I think. I hope they don't just play ads of HHN on the TVs or ads for Peacock on the TVs. I hope it's something to do with the house.
Right.
I hope they fix the AC in there.
Yeah, at least they have the big fans.
I want AC, please. Universal, I'm talking to you. AC inside of Fast and Furious, please. Please. That's all I ask.
Please.
So many bodies inside of that room. So much heat. Please.
Yeah.
But so that's where that's speculated to be. Then going to your tent houses, you're going to have 4 tents because parade buildings are no longer used. So first tent house is Goblin's Feast. That's where Oddfellow was last year. That makes sense. Goblin's Feast, I feel like, is a tent house. Feels like
Yeah.
feels like it is, you know. Then next to it is where what was over there last year, or is this the new tent? I don't know. No, this is old tents. Old tents. New tents are the other side. So what was there last year?
I don't remember.
Wait, Oddfellow. What was our other original over there last year? Oddfellow and
Oh my gosh, I don't know.
Oddfellow and what?
Well, I know Oddfellow was there. Last of Us was in this corner.
Was it Darkest Deal?
My
Yeah, Darkest was
Deal.
a...
Yeah.
Wow, I completely forgot. Wow.
Oh my gosh, Chris is gonna be mad at you.
Oh my gosh, sorry guys. I completely forgot Darkest Deal was over there. I don't know, I kept trying to say Bugs. I'm like, it's not Bugs. That wasn't
I
that
keep
year.
doing that too. I keep trying to go to old houses for last year.
So that was where Darkest Deal was last year, and this is IP with the Bride of Frankenstein hair. This is your Universal Monster house.
Right.
This
is the Gaslight Gatekeep Girl Boss house.
Yes, this is what we're all speculating to be an all-woman Universal Monster house. I'm curious if it's gonna have like ties to Epic Universe at all, as far as like Victoria Frankenstein, not all that stuff goes. I don't know, but I'm very interested with this one because it's something we haven't gotten. We've gotten a Bride of Frankenstein house, yeah, but we haven't gotten like anything besides that, as far as like woman, female Universal Monsters, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm very interested to see what it could be.
I'm excited. Like, it's another one of those ones that I'm like, if this happens, entire personality.
Yeah, and I hope with this one, when they announce it, it's got a video.
Yes.
I'm hoping it's not just a picture of some artwork for this one. I know Unmasked. I'm saying
Not
masking.
unmasking.
You know, yeah, it was Unmasked last year, right? Yeah, Universal Monsters Unmasked. Yeah. So that one only got a picture last year in that big announcement dump. So I'm hoping we don't get that with this.
Yeah.
I don't want a picture. I want a video for Universal Monsters. Come on. But that's what everyone's speculating for this one right now. Then we got next to it the new tents. So these are the new ones. Then we have Slaughter Cinema 2.
Mm-hmm.
Again, this has already been announced. This is already confirmed. This is probably my most excited. Yeah, this probably is my most excited original house coming this year.
Yeah.
I would say probably Monsteros is right behind that one, and then Museum, and then maybe the other three. I don't know where the other three placed yet. I haven't really thought too much about like my hype list for them yet. I'm waiting until like everything comes out, but Slaughter Cinema definitely is the one I'm very excited about because of the house from 2018 that was really good. I'm hoping the facade is like really like the one in 2018 too, especially with the new tents since they're a bigger area. I feel like a lot can be done with the facade work, you know? So I'm very interested to see how that looks. And then next to it is the museum, what is it called?
Deadly Exhibits.
Deadly Exhibits. Museum Deadly Exhibits is next to that and the other new tent. And that's already confirmed too. So,
Yes.
so that's the houses. The houses are pretty much mostly confirmed at this point. We're just waiting on the IPs. So the IPs we can speculate. But all the speculations right now are kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's hard to speculate anything different right now. So yeah, that's how the houses go. But with this spec map, the things that have changed a little bit is we have 2 scare zone icons and a horde. I'm guessing that's what that is, a horde. So the first thing I want to talk about is the horde. Any guesses?
I don't know.
If you know don't know what I'm talking about, the big black box, well not big, but tiny little black box that's not a scare zone, not a house, that's got a bow.
Assumably Megan.
Yeah, it's Megan.
She was kind of a hit last year.
It's probably Megan. I was hoping if we got a horde again, it'd be something a little different.
Maybe Abigail.
Maybe Abigail or something. Implement that somehow. But Megan was really popular last year. A lot of people were really trying to see Megan all the time. And I liked the Megan show when we seen it. It was good. I'm not saying it was bad or anything. So I'm okay with it returning. I'm just curious if it's going to be the same show or if it's going to be something different. Because, I mean, there's only one scene in Megan that you can really play with as far as, like, a dance routine or whatever.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see. Again, this is all speculation, so Megan might not even be coming. And usually with the Horde, last year they didn't announce it. So we probably won't know that till first night.
Just showed up and we were all like...
Or team member preview, you know.
Yeah.
But scare zones. I want to talk about scare zones. Because we don't know anything about scare zones right now. There's no, like, insider information or anything like that about scare zones right now. So 3 of the scare zones are still unknown. so I don't know about that yet. But Hollywood has a sugar skull as the icon. I know it's really tiny, probably on your screen, but sugar skull is the icon of the Hollywood Scare Zone. So I'm thinking maybe a Day of the Dead Scare Zone. I think Hollywood got one last year. Am I right? For my Hollywood people, did you guys get a Day of the Dead Scare Zone last year? I remember
I
hearing
do feel like
about
I
that.
vaguely remember that.
So
If
I'm
not last
curious
year,
if
at
it's
some point.
right. Yeah, I'm curious if it's something that's like that maybe that you guys got. Since we're implementing, Monster Roast from you guys, so maybe we're implementing a Scare Zone as well. But I'm excited if it's like a
Yeah.
Day of the Dead.
I'm such a fan of like the art and style and everything you can work with if that's what it is.
Yeah.
There's a lot of very pretty things you can do visually.
Now I do think it would be cool if it was maybe the Scare Zone right next to it.
Yeah.
That way it's right next to Monstros. I think that would be really cool. But I don't know. I think it'd be cool for like the Scare Zone to lead into Monstros.
Yeah, but you know, the first one right there is like you going into the park. So I feel like I'd prefer to have a different scare zone as like the entry scare zone.
I don't know if this might be unpopular opinion. I don't like table of content Scare Zones.
Really.
Yeah. Like, I hope, like, it might be what it is in the front this year. But either I want, like, an icon Scare Zone. Like, Oddfellow last year was fine.
I didn't like the placement of it though. It got
Agreed.
lost.
Agreed. But I liked Oddfellows last year. That was a
Yes.
good Scare Zone to me. Pumpkin Lore Scare Zone was awful.
But I feel like his didn't hit because of the fact that he was so high up, and then there was like 3 other people there, and nothing
then-
else.
Again, going back a year before that, the 30 Years, 30 Fears, not my favorite Scare Zone either.
Really?
Yeah, because that Scare Zone could have been really cool. And, I mean, you might like the Scare Zones, you know? You guys might like it. But 30 Years, 30 Fears could have been so much cooler if they implemented the icons into the Scare Zone.
Yeah. Well, I
Because
think
that's what it was marketed as.
Yeah.
Is like, I remember reading the marketing of it, talking about it literally mentioned the icons in it. But no icons were in the zone at
Yeah.
all, not even Jack.
See, I think that they missed the mark on like some of the things they could put in the scare zone, but I like that first scare zone being like themed to the year because it's like your transformative moment into the event.
I agree, just make it icon oriented and don't do it like a Pumpkin Lord one. Because the Pumpkin Lord one just felt like it felt like Hellblock Horror as a Scare Zone. They just threw stuff into a Scare Zone and called it a Scare Zone.
They just need a little more on the ground, I think, because a lot of those tend to put people on platforms and there's just not a lot going on like the other zones, so...
So if we do get like a table of contents Scare Zone this year, I hope it's like oriented towards like maybe the promos we've been getting with this other realm, Universal. That would be cool.
Yeah.
Because that's something that's fresh and I haven't seen before. But these table of content ones feel like they're like reused just with different themes. You know? If that makes sense. I don't know. Maybe that's an unpopular opinion, but but anyways, I think it would be cool for, you know, like a Day of the Dead Scare Zone to lead into Monsteros, but I don't know if that would happen because of the front Scare Zone usually being like a table of contents Scare Zone. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then the other Scare Zone on the map is like a mask of some sort.
My first thought seeing it was like the porcelain dolls, but specifically, I think they're called Lolita dolls.
Okay.
It's Japanese.
Oh, so like Japanese
So
dolls.
I don't know if we're leaving it into like some kind of Japanese something, but my first thought was dolls. Even without the Japanese part, it just reminds me of a porcelain doll.
That makes sense. That's kind of what I was thinking too. I was thinking more like Japanese something. You know, maybe like a festival or...
Yeah, because the buns with the bows is giving the Japanese, like, Lolita style.
So maybe it could be dolls, could be maybe like a festival or something. I think it is like Japanese or some Asian culture Scare Zone. That's what I've heard speculation-wise as well, is some Asian culture kind of thing. Don't know too much else to speculate on it. I don't know. I think that would be cool, though. I think because that's San Fran, right? Yeah, that's San... Is that San Fran? Yeah, that's San Fran. So I'm hoping... You know, I think it would be a cool zone, if it's a festival, that is, to do in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Because you could do kind of like you did with Sweet Revenge with, like, floats and stuff like that. And I know of, like, some Asian festivals, they'll have, like, the dragon and stuff they'll walk through. I think that would be cool. if that's what they're doing, San Fran might be a little too small.
Yeah, that's the only thing I don't like about that area is you have to put like whatever you're not going the craziest with in there.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. It might. There's been really good San Fran zones in the
There
past.
has been.
Rob Zombie, really good zone to me. I don't know if you guys agree with that, but Rob Zombie was good. Invasion, I think, was also in there.
I also forget the one, what it was called, the Coven one with the witch on the stage.
Oh, Conjure the Dark.
Conjure the Dark, that's what
Yeah.
it was.
That was a good one too. That was good. I feel like good use of the space.
Mhm.
It was Conjure the Dark. I think so. Yeah. But yeah, the other ones aren't speculated yet, so I don't know what those other scare zones could be.
Right.
And then again, Nightmare Fuel and Death Eater is still the same as previous spec map. So that's the spec map.
Not a whole lot changed.
Not a whole lot has changed.
But a few new
Agreed.
things that are kind of exciting. I'm glad we're getting into the scare zone stuff now.
So, what's chat saying about this spec map?
Well, let's see. Well, we're getting yelled at for forgetting about Darkest Deal.
My bad. I don't know how I forgot about that. That's such a good house too.
Adelidia said we have to do jail time for forgetting.
Oh, man. Call Judge Judy. Sorry.
Crow said we got the Slaughter Cinema sequel right.
Yeah, I have noticed a lot of the speculation this year has been correct.
Yeah, it's been like crazy similar to
Like-
what's happening.
Right. Like if you compare like last year's spec map or even the year before's spec maps, like the different versions, they changed drastically.
Yeah.
This year's spec maps have really been the same. Almost. Just like house location has changed and maybe a couple symbols have changed. But like as far as like the originals, all those were spot on with speculation.
Yeah.
So
Adelidia said Monstrous is her #1 right now, so excited for this house.
That's
That's
fair.
kind of how I'm feeling. Like, I'm excited about Slaughter Cinema, but there's something about Monstrous that I'm just like, I will eat it up.
and I am very excited about it specifically because I did read on Twitter that someone asked John Murdy, which if you don't know who John Murdy is, he's the head of HHN out in Hollywood. They asked him about Monstrous coming to Orlando and he said he did help them with it.
Oh.
So I'm like, okay, so it's good.
Yeah.
It's good then, because Monstros in Hollywood, from what I've seen, is fantastic. So if he helped them, yeah, that's gonna be a good house.
And then Hollywood did have a Day of the Dead maze. Or
Yeah,
not maze. Zone.
Oh, that is on. Okay,
And then
so yeah.
Chico said the Day of the Dead scare zone will be so bad word I can't say on stream. Anyways. Joey Mayo said too many platforms, but that was a COVID thing. And then Crow said big chunky pumpkin man and HHN was basically HHN 31.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Pumpkin Lord, I think he's a cool character. I do. And I think he had some good backstory. As far as like Wicked Growth, like in 30, brought him up really good. And then in 31, he was the icon. Sure. Execution of him was not good.
It was a little strange, for sure. Then Dreamport said, I think this is kind of what I was thinking too when you were talking, but I think you could have an effective front of park scare zone that is table of contents, or do something like an arcade where it
Exactly.
brings the theme forward without being tied to the other zones.
Exactly.
That was where my mind went when you started complaining. I was like, but you are like a #1
That's what I'm
arcade
saying.
stan.
An arcade was not a table of contents scare zone. It was a theme.
Yeah,
You didn't see an arcade in anywhere else in the park.
that's true.
You didn't see the characters from there. Sure, you got the chainsaw people in Hollywood and Simpsons. Sure, but an arcade was the perfect front scare zone. That's why it's my favorite scare zone of all time, because you knew the theme of the event as soon as you walked in.
Yeah, I do.
As soon
I
as
do
you
like
walked
that.
in. With Oddfellow, that could have been confusing when you walked in.
Yeah,
Same with Pumpkin Lord. It's like you're getting a bunch of creatures thrown at you and a big guy in a pumpkin. Confusing.
that's true.
In arcade, you walked in, the neon lights were all over. You had to line the streets with the arcade machines, and then you had all these characters that looked like they're out of a video game, welcoming you into this
Yeah.
80s year.
I
I'm
do,
like, that was
yeah.
the perfect front of
I'm
the
saying.
park scare
Now that
zone.
you're talking about it, like with it being my first year, I do remember like before seeing anything, seeing the stilt walker from that zone over everybody with like short purple hair, all the neon light up stuff, and thinking, okay, I get it.
Yes.
So that makes sense as to why you like it so much now.
Yes, I'm the biggest stan of An Arcade.
You are.
That is like my number one scare zone of all time. Amazing scare zone, and they had like the photo opportunities. You know, now I feel like the photo opportunities are kind of odd.
Yeah, there's not a lot.
There's not like last year probably was Oddfellows Caravan was the photo opportunity, I guess, and then Pumpkin Lord himself, I guess, was the photo opportunity that year with 31. But in Arcade, you had the street of photo opportunities.
Yeah.
So like a lot of people like coming to HHN and taking photos. Yeah, it's part of the experience, sure. And it made it a lot more easier for you to do and not have to like wait in line for one single photo opportunity because there was arcade machines on every single like sidewalk there.
That is very
You know?
true.
So I don't know. Cool scare zone.
It was. And then Crow said, to be honest, I feel like HHN 29 was one of the best years just because of the whole 80s synthwave vibe they were going with.
Agreed.
And then Dreamport said, true, especially, it felt especially cohesive with the 80s inspired zone in the front.
Yes. Agreed.
And everyone's just agreeing that we need another HHN 80s year.
We do. Yes, I agree we do need another 80s year. I just want them, if they do an 80s year, don't do Stranger Things.
Yeah. I love Stranger Things, but they've never quite hit the mark for me.
I don't hate the Stranger Things houses, and I think they're really good sets. Last year was...
I was about to say, excuse me.
Okay, the ones I've been through, as far as like 2019 and I think it was 2018 was the first Stranger Things one, right?
Mm-hmm, 'cause it was the year before I went.
Amazing sets. Last year, we won't talk about it. But as far as if you're going to do an 80s year, don't do something that's inspired by the 80s. Do actual 80s properties. Like, for example, I think, 2019 had Ghostbusters. Perfect for the 80s.
Had Killer Clowns.
Was Killer Clowns that year too? Yeah, Killer Clowns.
You're
Perfect for the
talking about
80s.
Fortnite, right?
Yeah.
Killer Clowns, House of a Thousand Corpses.
House of a Thousand Corpses. Was that an 80s movie?
Then you had Ghostbusters. You already said that.
Yeah. So if you're going to do 80s movie, don't do Stranger Things. Do like Nightmare on Elm Street. Do like Friday the 13th. That kind
That
of
makes
stuff.
sense. I
Like
can get behind
80s
that.
actual horror movies, you know?
Like truly just diving into what the 80s was.
Yes.
Not just throwing stuff together and making it 80s.
Yes.
That makes sense.
So I would like an 80s year, but I would like also different eras kind of years.
Yeah.
Like, do a 90s year. Like, what everyone thought this year was going to be.
I would love a, like Vamp 69, like I would love like a 60s like Flower Power year.
Yeah. You
Like,
can do a
that'd be
60s
fun.
year, a 50s year.
Oh yeah.
Like, with, like, the
old
vibe of, like,
diner.
Bugs and stuff. I think it'd be cool to do, like, eras, yeah?
That would be really cool.
But do your front scare zone, right, if we're going to do an era.
Right. Antona said, do we think Hollywood will get another original maze from Orlando this year?
I don't know.
Again, not really caught up with a lot of
Not
the
caught up with Hollywood,
stuff.
yeah. Maybe. Or there'll be like an iteration on an original, like how the Exterminators Terror Tram was last year, which was kind of like Bugs from
Yeah.
Orlando, but they made it into like a bigger thing. Could happen again like that.
So, you weren't the biggest fan of Darkest Deal, and Chris doesn't like you for that, but now you're not gonna like Chris. Sorry.
Biggest
he
fan
said,
of Darkest. I am the biggest fan of Darkest
Well,
Deal.
you're not
I just forgot about Darkest
Exactly. So, but anyways,
Deal. I love Darkest
just listen to
Deal.
what Chris said. Here you go. An arcade for me would have been a better house. Sorry to say it. I didn't like the zone at all.
Move along.
The first Stranger Things house was good, but last year was awful.
Yeah, that was.
I can agree.
No, I will say, an arcade as a house would be fantastic. Because imagine the vibes of the tribute store that's in Summer Tribute Store that's in Universal right now. That arcade, Wizards Arcade, whatever it is. Inside of a house.
Ooh, an arcade house would be so cool.
Yeah. I agree it would be a fantastic house. But the zone was fantastic too, you were slandering it.
Oh, Chris made a good point. Sleepaway camp would be really cool for
See?
an 80s thing.
That kind of stuff, yeah.
Brian said we haven't had anything Asian culture themed since the Chainsaw Lolitas, if I remember correctly.
Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah. And then on to the 80s thing. Derek said, as a child of the 80s, I would love a Hellraiser house.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's long overdue at this point. We need Hellraiser at HHN.
And then Return of the Living Dead.
See, yeah, that kind of stuff. Bring that instead of Stranger Things.
And then Dreamport said Run, but make it an arcade.
Oh. So like Eddie's house by an arcade. Interesting concept.
Down for anything. And then that's it.
That's it? Okay, cool.
Chris said haha.
Great. Alright, so second thing I want to talk about in the stream today, now that we've talked about the spec map, and that has been, nothing has changed. So we're going to talk about the exclusive premium Scream Nights. I know there is a lot of division about this. And I'm going to say my thoughts. You guys can say your thoughts. I've seen some of your thoughts on the last video we made. If you haven't checked it out yet. Last video we made was about the Premium Scream Night announcement. So we got that last Thursday. So Premium Scream Night, the $350 event happening August 29th before opening night. So opening night eve, Premium Scream Night is happening. It's going to be a limited capacity event, so lower wait times. I've heard the cap on the waits of Premium Scream Night. I don't know if it's true or not, but I heard the highest wait that night is probably going to be 30 minutes. So if you've been to HHN before, you know that's really good.
Yeah.
Then I believe there's an exclusive credential and lanyard you'll get. You get free parking at the parking garage that's got the terrible audio on that day.
Don't want to park there anymore.
And then the big thing that I think is really cool is the pulsing through the haunted houses.
Yeah.
So what that means is if you're in a group of 2, 3, whatever it is, they're going to let you go into the house by yourself. You're not going to be in the huge conga line. So you're going to get to go through every single scene in the houses on this night only by yourself. With your group, that is. So that is what Universal announced, HHN announced, that's happening the day before opening night, so August 29th. Now, a lot of people have different opinions on this.
Yeah.
Yes. I will say what I think. I think it's needed. I think that crowd control at HHN right now is crazy. I mean, if you guys went last year, you'll know. I mean, it was very high wait times for the IP specifically, but even just the original sometimes will have extreme wait times. Lines for food were insane.
Oh my god, yeah.
It would take you at least 20 minutes to just get your food. Or
Just
just
to
to order. Yeah, just to order the food. Then you had to wait on the food. And then, yeah, the shows. Like, if you wanted to get into Nightmare Fuel, you had to sit out there 30 minutes before they start lining them up.
Yeah.
So, like, an hour before the show even starts. But that
Yeah.
takes an hour out of your day already.
Plus
And you only get
30
so
minutes of
many.
the show.
Because, like, some people only go to HHN one night. Not everyone gets frequent fear, right? Not everyone gets express. I mean, it's expensive. Now, I do think... Oh, and one of the things I forgot to mention that you get at the Premium Scream Night is the all-you-can-eat food stuff. So you're getting, like, the food for the event, kind of like how Taste of Terror was last year, if you guys know what I'm talking about, where you could eat the food and not have to worry about paying for it. That's what I've gotten from the press release. I think it's free food. I think. Again, I don't know.
From what I believe it's going to be not all of the food they are
Right.
serving. It will just be a select few snacks that they are serving for the event, or just themed snacks that you can have for free. And then regular beverages, but then you'd have to pay for alcoholic beverages.
Right. Okay. So that's what I've heard as well. So okay. I do think the timing of it is not good. I agree with that portion. I think the timing of it needs to be later in the event. I think having it before opening night is not good for people that can't go to it because, you know, content creators are going to go. You know, normal people that have phones and social media are going to go. And a lot is going to be spoiled. And I know we talked about this before with the unmasking starting on August 11th was going to spoil a lot inside of these houses before the event even started. And then, of course, we have team member preview as well, which kind of spoils stuff too. If you've been on, like, Twitter or X when team member previews happens, whole event gets spoiled.
Yeah.
Again, you can't see inside the houses. They don't take pictures in there. But, yeah. So, I don't think the timing of it is great. I think it's should be later in the event, like maybe on I think you were mentioning this, maybe like on a random Monday or
like
something.
a Monday or Tuesday or whenever Horror Nights doesn't usually happen, just throw one extra night in just for that.
Right.
Like midway through the event.
But I do also see the appeal of it.
Yeah, definitely.
I do see the appeal of it And so I will say, we are probably going to go to it. If we can get the tickets, that
Yeah.
is.
For me specifically, honestly, the biggest thing that appeals to me, one, this could be a one and done thing and never be done again, and I don't want to miss it and be like, oh, I wish I would have gone just to see what it was. But then the other part, like, the biggest part of it to me is I think it would be really neat just to experience the pulsing through a house.
Right. So we are going to try to go to it. It depends how fast these tickets sell out because it is a limited capacity event. It's almost like buying concert tickets on pre-sale.
Yeah.
So tickets for it go on sale next Thursday, June 6th. I'm not sure the time, which...
This Thursday.
No, I said the time. Like the time of
No,
it?
you said next Thursday.
Oh, this Thursday. I was
Thursday. There
like, I was
you
like
go.
the time. What do you mean Thursday? No, the time. I don't know the time. Like it goes on sale. I don't know if it's like right at midnight or if it's like 7 a.m., 8 a.m., whatever. Hopefully they will let people know beforehand. That way people have a chance to get them before they sell out. So if we do buy them and we go, I will vlog it. It will be vlogged. But I'm not going to post it until opening night, or
Yeah.
at least after opening weekend.
Just till people get to go experience the event for themselves.
Because I understand the spoiler aspect, so I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah.
Like, I'll probably do, like, Instagram story or something of us going, but I won't show anything. Like, I'll show us in City Walk, being like, hey, we're about to go in, here's our credential. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to show anything that could spoil anything for you guys. Because I want you guys to at least see the event, or someone have already posted opening night or something
Yeah.
before we post anything. So that's where I'm at on it. But this also is on opening night eve. So our opening night eve live stream will be a day earlier.
Yeah.
So our opening night, I guess we'll have to change the title of it to
Opening night Eve.
Premium Night Eve. So instead of our opening night eve being on the 29th, because we will be at HHN, if we get the tickets that is, before they sell out, they will be on the 28th instead of the 29th. Because last year was the night before, and it led straight into the day of, but because we will not be here, that day, it will be the night before. Originally I had the thought of live streaming, but I don't want to live stream inside of it,
Yeah.
inside of Premium Scream Night, because that's going to spoil stuff.
Right.
So as far as live stream goes, maybe I'll live stream inside of the hotel after.
Yeah.
Or something like that, or before we go, whatever it
Morning
is.
the next day.
Or the morning of opening night or something. Yeah, I might do that. But as far as doing it in the actual park for Premium Scream Night, no, I don't want to spoil any of it. Now after the event happens and opening weekend happens, we'll have a separate opening weekend video as well, or opening night video, whatever we do. So after all that happens, then we'll talk about like how it was, if it should be done again, if it was a train wreck, whatever it is,
Right.
whatever happens.
You don't know what to expect.
But I just wanted to say that we are going to go to it, and I want to see your guys' opinions on it in general. Yeah.
Yeah. Would you like to hear chat's thoughts?
Sure.
Doo-doo-ba-doo. Well, Joey said the Chucky line scarred so many people that they had to make up a premium night to avoid that nonsense happening again.
Yeah.
Chris said, I think this is a good thing, to be honest. Hollywood also needs this, because I remember we wanted to go on Chucky back in 2023 and it was crowded the entire night. Derek says, I'd just get the express pass, commented on Zombie Chris's video, he had an amazing take on this. And then Chris said, I think it was the right choice for the night because it's early for Universal to add a selling point onto it.
Mm-hmm.
Joey said, it should be the 4th week of September since I'll be there.
Right? Yeah.
And then Chris said that his best guess as far as tickets going on sale would be 10 a.m.
Okay, well, yeah, that makes sense.
Um,
Hopefully, I'd like to be awake.
Yeah, I would like to not have to stay up all night.
I don't have to stay up all night and be like, when are these tickets dropping?
Yeah. The stress.
Yeah. Live stream that. No, I'm joking.
And Antonio said we had a fan preview night at HHN Hollywood back in 2019, and it was the night before opening night. Not sure if this night will be similar to our fan preview night.
Oh, maybe. I've heard about the fan preview thing. I've heard someone mention that on Twitter or something. It was. Yeah, it probably will be similar
Similar.
to that, I would think. But yeah.
And then Crow said, do you think they'll add premium nights for Hollywood?
I don't know. I think this is their test here.
Yeah.
Because the announcement didn't come with Hollywood as well. The fact that it was only an Orlando announcement makes me that they're going to test it in Orlando first and then go from there.
Probably.
But then again, with Orlando and Hollywood's teams work separate. Like, there's some stuff they share, like Universal Monsters and some of the IPs and things like that. But a lot of what they do is separate. So this Premium Scream Night could be a decision made solely by Orlando's team.
Yeah. Because did Taste of Terror only happen in Orlando last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think maybe, honestly, they're probably testing the waters for what little extra thing they can do. Because is Taste of Terror happening this year?
No.
It doesn't seem like it.
No. Not that I've heard so far.
So it's like, maybe, like you said, Orlando's testing these things out, and if one of them becomes like a big hit and everybody loves it and it doesn't get kind of like, what the heck was that? Like Taste of Terror did. Then maybe they'll keep it around and transfer it on both coasts.
Right. And even with Taste of Terror, even though everyone was like, it wasn't a great thing, you know? I still wanted to go to it. Like, I didn't go, obviously. There's no video on the channel of it. But because I have such a deep love for HHN, I want to go to anything that is HHN related, right? Like, for example, the panel of Spooky Empire. We wanted to go really bad to that.
Yeah.
And even though it's just a little panel that you sit in and that's it. I mean, granted, they announced their Slaughter Cinema, but anything that gives me more HHN, I'm going to try to go do.
Absolutely.
So Taste of Terror, even though it wasn't a great thing, I wish I could have gone to it to be like, I went to it.
Yeah, because
to be like, I was able
like,
to experience it.
That
Something
was the only
different.
time they did it.
Right.
And then you may never get to experience that again, and like, you know, it's just fun to be able to do those things, whether they're great or not, or whatever.
Right, and so that's how I'm feeling about this as well. That's why I'm doing it. Because I know there's great benefits with it as well. Obviously, the limited stuff, we'll be able to get through all the houses probably in one night. If it's promising what it's promising, that actually happens. But that's why I want to go, because it's a new offering from HHN. It's something I want to do because I love HHN so much. And it could be a one and done thing. And, you know, I don't want to miss it kind of thing, you know? But yeah.
Oh, Derek says, that's the part that sucks. You are more conscientious?
Huh?
You are more conscientious than others. That's what sucks. Everyone will live stream this stuff to get monetized views.
I know, and that's the thing about it. I'm like, I wish people would have the same mindset as me as a creator, because it's not all about the views, right? Like, you have, like, for example, we have a good community here. We have the Fiends, you know? And I care about you guys experience this event just as I do. You know, I don't want to be like, I'm better than these people, so I'm going to get their money and post this and spoil it for them. Who cares? No. You guys, like, when I see you guys in the park and things like that, and we hang out, and I'm like, we try to trade friendship bracelets, whatever it is we do. You guys are like same as me, you know? And I don't want like to ruin that. I wouldn't want to be like a fan of somebody, you know, like a creator, and then go and spoil it before I can even go to the event. That's terrible, you know? So I'm not gonna do that. I wish other people thought like that. But
And so, like, obviously we can't wait till Hornet's completely over to post things, but we can't wait till at least opening weekend's over. And at least if we're posting videos, it's on you to make the choice of, do I want to watch this or do I want to wait till I go?
Right. And, like, as far as, like, posting it, like, still when the event is happening, like we do with the opening weekend or opening night video, post it, like, the day after opening weekend. A lot of people will use those videos to see what is coming, to know if they want to walk inside of a house, because, you know, some people aren't, like, die-hard people that are like, I'm going to go anyway, or I'm going to do this anyway. Some people, like, have certain things that will, like, trigger them, and they don't want to go inside of a certain house or things like that. So, like, especially, like, the people that get media for the event, that get to film inside of the house, but even with us, like, filming the scare zones and things like that, helps some people, like, plan for the event or expect, like, know what to expect kind of thing. So that's why I don't post it completely after the event. That way I do it beforehand, because that's what I used to do. I know I mentioned this in that creator video we just did, but when I first went to HHN my first year, I watched so many walkthroughs by creators and stuff of, like, the previous year and things like that, so I knew what to expect. So that's what I kind of put out as well. I put out those videos so you know what to expect, you know? So, yeah, I went on a tangent there. My bad.
No, you're good. Vanessa Ann said, I wish I could go to premium night, but I already got my hotel for opening weekend.
Yeah, that's.
We did too.
I will tell you, that's what we did too. We already got our Universal. I don't know if you got a Universal hotel or if you're just at a neighboring hotel or wherever. But with our Universal one, we did that too. So what we are doing, so if you're in a Universal one, you have the option to extend it. You can. There's like a certain. I don't know the exact terminology for it, but there's like a little part of your reservation. You look up your reservation or whatever it is, and you can try to get an extension. Sometimes it won't let you, but you can try to get an extension. I know you'll probably have to pay some money for it. It's not going to be free to just extend your hotel another day.
I think you pay like the price of one night and then maybe like a little extra.
Yeah, you pay a deposit, and then you're going to have probably more on your deposit at the hotel as well. So you'll have your initial deposit. You already paid for your hotel that you booked. Then if you extend a night, you're going to pay another deposit, and then you'll have a little more to pay at the hotel on the day you're there. So that's what we're doing. I don't know if you're at a Universal hotel or just neighboring hotel. To extend it if you really want to go to it, you know.
And then Jameport said, the FOMO is real with everything surrounding HHN because everything changes from year to year.
It does, and it's hard to plan it.
It is.
It's hard to plan it, I mean, because prices constantly change as far as like frequent fear and single tickets and unmasking, all these different offerings. They always change. Price is going to go up every year. So, and then when we added new things like Premium Scream Night, that's $350 a ticket. So for 2 people, it'll be like $800. And you want to do it, it's hard to do because, I mean, we're not made of money. No one's made of money, you know. So it's hard to plan for this kind of stuff just for the general public, you know. So.
Derek said, wish you could go to Midsummer Scream.
Me too.
Yes, it'd be fun. Adelia said, I kind of wish they had announced this earlier. I have plans for that day that I can't miss and would have loved to go. Yeah, it would have been nice to have it a little bit earlier, but... Right.
Well, as far as it goes with us, we're going to do all the weekends, so we're going to still do opening night and all the other days that until, all the way through Sunday. So we'll be there as well if you guys are going opening weekends, now that we're just going to this event and never showing up again. So if you do want to see us in the park, we will be there on opening weekend as well. So opening day, day after, and the day after that. So
that's about it.
About it?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're just talking about Midsummer Scream and going to that now.
Yeah. Midsummer Scream would be cool to go to, just as a horror fan in general, because it's like one of the biggest horror conventions in the nation or something like that. So it'd be cool to go, but it's all the way in Cali.
Yeah.
And I know obviously Hollywood gets a lot of their announcements there. And I apologize for Hollywood, man. You guys are getting nothing right now.
I know. How interesting.
You are. Hopefully something comes for you guys soon. You know. I mean, you kind of know with the whole Insidious picture going around of that's probably coming to your guys' event.
Yeah.
But hopefully John Murdy and the team out there announce something for you guys soon. Hopefully before Midsummer, because that's another 2 months or another month, whatever. Hopefully. Do you guys even got your dates yet? Did they even get their dates yet?
I don't know. I don't pay attention. I just pay attention to Orlando.
Hopefully you guys get your dates at least soon, and then your tickets going on sale, because those have been on sale for Orlando since like beginning of May? Yeah.
Somewhere there, yeah.
It's been like a month. So hopefully you guys get something soon. I apologize for you guys. You guys are probably going through it down there.
Oh, I keep yawning. I'm so sorry.
But that is everything I wanted to talk about today on the stream. Went over Spec Map, talked about the Premium Scream Night, and then our thoughts on the announcement schedule going forward, because there's no formula at the moment.
Yeah.
But besides that, anything else you want to say before we go? Great.
I have no words.
But hopefully we get an announcement maybe this week, maybe not, who knows. Hopefully get our IP soon, see if our speculations are correct, and go from there. And on Thursday we will battle the trenches. We'll be deep in the trenches fighting for tickets to Premium Scream Night.
Hopefully they won't be that hard to get.
Hopefully. We will see.
We'll see.
We will update you guys accordingly if we do get them or not. But besides that, thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight and chatting, doing all this fun stuff.
Yes.
On Sunday evening. And besides that, until our next stream or our next video, we will see you guys in the fog, and we will see you guys in the morgue. Bye.